Everyone, I'm Coach Phoenix.
And I'm Coach Gina.
And this is Toast with the Coaches. Cheers.
Cheers. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Perspective, the show where we drink, talk about life, the universe, and all that other jazz.
Again, I'm Coach Phoenix, founder and owner of Role Model Life Coaching, LLC. At Role Model Life Coaching, we focus on life transitions. I see you, Josh. I appreciate the love.
Got some representation here. Josh is wearing Phoenix's role model t-shirt, which if you guys want a role model t-shirt, hit Phoenix up. He'll hook you up. That's a sweet logo. I would wear that.
Exactly. So at Role Model Life Coaching, we partner with our clients to help them down the road of life towards their model selves.
Phoenix, again, is absolutely amazing. I say it every episode, and I will say it into eternity. Phoenix is an amazing human. He is an amazing coach. The love is real, Phoenix. The love is real.
I appreciate that.
I am Coach Gina. I am a certified life coach and founder of Clear Focus Coaching. I specialize in boundaries coaching, setting limits with those around you so you can make space for yourself. I also specialize in empowering women. I help women to recognize their strength and potential in work, life, relationships, so they can face every day with confidence and intention.
So what that means is if you need to focus on those two areas or you know someone, tell a friend to tell a friend, send that website, click that link. Coach Gina is an awesome coach. I definitely recommend her. So without further ado, the reason why we're here, I'm truly a fan. I would like to raise a toast to two members of an organization that became a movement. They defend our children from the scum of the earth. Two dads who are badass. Joshua and Terrance from D.A.P. Dads Against Predators.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, guys.
I appreciate that.
No,
So
definitely,
D.A.P,
man.
Can you tell us a little bit about D.A.P? What is D.A.P?
So it's the 2020 To Catch a Predator Chris Hansen thing, you know. He poses children online, and we wait for dirty scumbags to lure us in, and we go and confront them and show our communities.
Awesome, awesome. Man, that is powerful. And again, man, I'm such a fan. Not only because I'm a dad, but I'm a dad in Ohio. And I know these guys started in a small town in Fremont, Ohio. I'm correct, Josh, Terrance?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm out here in Columbus, Ohio. So when I start to, I became a fan. I know y'all was about like 9,000 followers. And that was about 3 weeks when I reached out to y'all. Right now, y'all at 14,000. So by the time the show is, y'all probably going to be at 100K. So remember, we had them first, back in the third. I know y'all did another interview, but there's no interview like this one between Coach Gina and Coach Phoenix. You heard?
For sure, bro.
Definitely.
I hope we get 100. You guys gonna get us 100?
You definitely gonna get that 100. I swear to God, I feel like y'all gonna have that 100,000 subscriber mark right before we aired the show. Remember, I said it on the show first, right, Gina?
You called it. You called it.
So it sounds like with the way that you guys are blowing up like that, I mean, it sounds like the work that you're doing is really impacting the communities that you're part of and really making an imprint on people. But before we get into that, I want to learn a little bit more about the both of you. You know, you both are fathers and you started this organization, but kind of what happened leading up to that? How did you get into this? Where are you guys from? What do you do?
Yeah. Who was the men before that?
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Terrance. You go first.
Well, who I was before D.A.P, that's a good question. Wow, I had to ask myself that. So I guess I was a father, obviously. But before then, I was just a hardworking man trying to make ends meet. It's a struggle every day, but you got to make something happen of it. Now, there's a problem going on way before we even started this, or you know what I mean? And something had to be done. Something happened in somebody's life that touched that touched Josh, that which touched me and then touched other people. You know what I mean? That there's have to be a change in this. So before that, man, I was the average Joe.
And now who you feel like you are with being part of this organization and doing the good work that you do, what would you consider yourself to be at this moment?
To be honest, I feel like the same person.
Okay.
Just doing something that's gonna help somebody next to me, my neighbor. You know what I mean? Their neighbor. Just the same person that's trying to be your average Joe.
That's really funny that you say that, because when you started off, you were saying, you know, who was I before D.A.P? But who you were was who you are now. You just branded it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. I did. Yeah. But you got me on that. I should have asked myself that before.
But what about you, Josh? I know you were founding member of D.A.P. Who was Josh before D.A.P. leading into you starting up this organization?
I came from like alcoholics and crackheads in the 90s. It really like tore apart like my family. Grew up with my grandparents. Never had like a stable family. So when I had kids, like it was all I was about, man. So I was just a security guard, you know, hanging out with my friends, playing video games. Just like nothing crazy, man. And just something happened to somebody close to me. And like the guy didn't get justice, and he just got to like I ended up having to go to a college class and sit next to him. And I told the college, like, man, this is what happened. And they're like, well, there's nothing we can really do about it this time. And it's just like, and they're like, well, don't say anything to anybody because we don't want to cause any drama.
Wow.
And that was just like damn, I gotta do two. I'm paying this school to like go to it, and I just gotta like sit next to this dude who I want to kill, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to focus and not waste my money. But yeah, it's just I wanted to make sure that everybody gets to know who these guys are. You know what I'm saying? That when it happens, like something like you know somebody and you heard something, they go, oh, it didn't happen like that, or it happened like this and stuff. But the way I do it, you get the screenshots and you get the video, and like there's nothing to deny.
Live in your face. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious. So it sounds like you said, that there was an individual in your life that did not receive the justice that should have been served, and that there was other people in your life who were basically trying to cover it up, which super sucks that you had to go there and see him every single day, and that you were told to be quiet about it too. Like that, I feel like it's just a step too far, in my opinion. So how do you go from that? How do you go from sitting in a classroom just feeling this anger to creating an organization of vigilante fathers?
Just knowing that we could. Like Fremont's a town full of 16,000 people, but like we all know pedophiles here. Like it's not that like crazy of a like it's not that rare. So like I've seen other YouTube people do it, and I just seen like I know I could do it in my little town. Like there's groups that do it in like Houston and stuff. I was like, I guarantee in my little town we can catch these guys. And I caught 3 guys in one day the first day I tried. So like ever since then, it's been on go.
Wow. So you say you caught 3 guys in one day. So before you started, how did you do it by yourself? Did you start the organization by yourself? What was the thought process behind that? Can you walk us through like how the organization started and how you got to that day one?
It was just me and Jay, who unfortunately couldn't be here. Shout out to Jay, and I hope his daughter feels better. She got a
shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jay. Can you let the audience know who Jay is?
Jay is one of the co-founders. He's basically who started it. It's like was there with me on the first like all those catches. So he's a huge integral part. He's my right hand man. So yeah. That's my boy.
So So you connected with Jay, and you both kind of decided we need to do something about this. Nobody is doing anything about this, and so we need to. So for the people who don't know too much about D.A.P quite yet, can you go into a little bit of what you guys do at D.A.P?
Yes.
So we go on apps like Grindr, Whisper, Meet Me, Scout, you name it, we're on it. And we create fake profiles. We have like decoys that have like allowed us to use them as decoys, and they're above 18. And then we wait for guys to message us. They message us. We say that we're 14, 13, 12 to 15. 12 to 15 is usually where we operate. And they want to meet. They want to do nasty things, and we show up to stop them.
Wow, that's crazy. How often does that happen? Like, and so say you're on Grindr, say a typical day, right? It's a Monday, and you message and say you meet 20 people. Out of that 20,
Sure.
and you tell them that you're underage. How many of those individuals take the bait on the average?
So I would say about 80% of these people on these apps are cool with it, and about 10% meet up. But you'll have 60, 70% of these guys just, oh, you're 15, and then just want to keep talking and doing nasty stuff and stuff like that. But they're not going to meet up because they're too scared. But you'll have the 10% that is, they'll meet up. But what I found most sickening is the majority is fine with it.
Yeah, that like you said, I just asked you out of 20, you said 80% of those individuals take the bait as far as like tempt to like text, and then they get scared so they don't meet up.
Right.
So that's the 10%. But then there's 70% that still find it okay or interesting to hit up,
play around with it. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy, man. That's fucking crazy and fucking disgusting. And
it is.
I just don't understand it. Like, wow.
And I've traveled. We've went from Fremont, and we did a road trip. So we caught through Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa City, and then we caught 4 guys in Denver. And it's all the same. Like, I'd say the percentages is all damn near the same. So it's like across the country. So I guarantee anywhere you can go, anywhere I want to set up shop, I always like tell my wife, like, if anything goes bad here, I can just go to another town and set up shop and do this all over again. Like, it's really fishing in a barrel.
That's wow.
Yeah, which is sad and devastating that's so prominent. And like you said, that a lot of the times you don't even know that, you know, that you're maybe talking to somebody who's a pedophile, or, you know, that your kids are near someone who's a pedophile. Like, you don't know. Like, it's not like everybody wears a badge, and you can tell who everybody is.
Exactly.
But I'm curious. So going into this too, and you touched a little bit on it, that, you know, you wanted to bring this idea of justice a little bit more to the forefront. How does your organization go about doing that? So you have the screenshots, and you know, kind of catfish these people. Then what happens?
So I created a Facebook page, obviously the YouTube page, and we put them on there. Unfortunately, in Ohio, I've hired lawyers, I've talked to prosecutors, I've spent over 50 hours in rooms with police chiefs, police captains, detectives, police officers, you name it, and nobody can tell me a law that these guys are technically breaking. But if I was an actual child, or if it was a police officer, you know, they'd be getting charged with a felony 2 and a felony 5. So it's like frustrating that, like, they can't get in legal trouble, which is like bad. But I'm making sure their mom knows. I'm making sure their wife knows. I'm making sure their child knows.
Everybody knows. So we see you at the
everybody knows.
Like, you fucking nasty pig, get the fuck out of here.
Right, and everybody's gonna not only does everybody know, everybody's gonna see what you said when you thought nobody was looking.
Exactly. What's in your,
and that's something that, like, a police charge where somebody gets probation, they don't get that. You know what I mean? You just hear, oh, this guy did this, but you don't know.
It's prosecution by public opinion.
Exactly.
That's horrible.
Right.
Yeah, prosecution by public opinion. So I got a question, Josh, man. I'm kind of like aggressive dude sometimes. Terrance, this question to you as well. When y'all approach these individuals, and I see that sometimes like y'all really calm, and I know that you told me someone close to you who's been affected, Terrance. You said that you felt the same energy because of someone that had been affected by Josh, like you and your dad. You like, man, I'm on board with it, and I'm a dad, so you see, I'm wearing the T-shirt. So I guess my question is, how do y'all keep y'all composure and not lay hands on these individuals? Because I know I couldn't. Like I consider myself a professional. I couldn't keep my hands in my pocket, man. Seriously.
I mean, go ahead, Dan.
I mean, it is disgusting, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's when you think about it, like putting that exposure out on them. You know what I mean? Getting their name out there, letting everybody else know instead of just because you know you can mess up a lot of stuff by putting your hands on them. You know what I mean? So putting their name out there in their face is gonna really damage their whole entire life for now on. Like it's not gonna be easy for you anywhere you go.
So the way I would explain it is like a multifaceted. I like not a sob story, but I grew up like kind of like abused a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like physically, mentally type stuff. So like I'm good with like stressful situations. I say like I can be really calm. I mean, sports and all that. I played sports my whole life, so all that stuff helps me out. Like, and at the end of the day, if I beat this guy up, like I'm dads against predators, and I can't be a dad in county jail. You know what I mean? So I got 3 kids to come home to at the end of the day. So like the stressful situations and like all that, and like I'm a competitive guy, so I'm going there. I want to like make your ass look dumb as fuck. That's my goal. So I'm trying to be calculated, and I may look calm and stuff, but you can ask Terrance, man. I'm doing like these. I get like nervous and stuff before like everyone. Like you don't really know who you're meeting. You don't know what's about to happen. It's all like live and off script. So
yeah.
No, and I agree. That's why I call y'all freaking badasses, man. You don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know how big they are, what type of like background they have as far as like being in prison, hands, any of that. And for y'all to bless them the way y'all do, man, my hat's out to y'all, man. Salute. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to dad.
Cheers. I want to play devil's advocate here for just a second.
I love when you do that, Gina. Get him. Damn, Gina. Got him.
Which I'm sure that you guys have probably heard before. But I want to ask it for the sake of this interview because I'm just curious. So you were saying exposing these people and making sure that like their mothers know and their wives know, and putting them out publicly where their employer could maybe see. And like you said, essentially this could ruin their entire life.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because I think about how we all have backgrounds and we all have sins and we all have these things that we'd rather not have exposed. And going and ruining somebody's life versus maybe some kind of rehabilitation or something like that. Like, what do you have a conflict about that, or is that like this is what needs to happen, or like what are your thoughts around that?
I mean that's a great question, but I look at it as murder, rape, and messing with kids. Those are the 3 unforgivables in my opinion. So with the younger guys, I do like I don't go as hard on them and stuff like that. And with the finding their jobs and stuff like that, I don't really do that. But like that just comes with job, like the fans and stuff. Yeah. They're gonna go do that regardless. So man, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I don't really feel too bad for them. They were about to ruin another child's life.
Keep it 100, like be real.
Yeah. I mean, they was about to ruin the kid's life, and 70%, I think it's actually like 74% of all abusers have been previously abused. So they was going to abuse a kid that's most likely 70% chance that he's going to grow up and be an abuser himself. Like so.
Cycle, yeah.
I'm trying to stop a circle of like
Yeah.
terrorism.
Nah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Terrance, what about you? Do you have any conflict about that? What are your feelings on it?
It's really crazy because like without you asking that question, me and Josh actually had this talk before. You know what I mean? So I my beliefs are with him. I believe everything is done the right way. It is what it is.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. And Gina, can I put my two cents into it?
Always.
I say F them, man. I say, to be honest, it's just like with anything else. So your intentions, right? So Josh said out of 100%, 80% of these individuals take the bait as far as like message back and try to like temptation, right? So I say those individuals are the ones that he is saving actually because they haven't crossed that line. They have these deviant ways and deviant thoughts, and they say, you know what? Nah, something mother said it was wrong, or they feared being embarrassed, or whatever the reason for it. They didn't go the mile, right? And thank God they didn't, because Josh and Terrance and his team was going to be on that ass. But those individuals get saved. For individuals that cross that line and say, yo, now I want to see what it's like, or continue doing that. Yo, do you understand that once you do that one time, you fucking up a child for the rest of their life? So you talking about their job and letting the community, man, I don't give a fuck about their life. Yo, let the whole world know they're a pedophile so they could just get blown up with the rest of the fucking bad people in the world. You heard? That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And add one more thing in there. Like, if you get caught by us, you go home. You go home. You lay in your bed. You call your mom.
Think about what you did.
Yeah, like, but if you did that to a kid, that's an unforgivable sin. And I'm not religious, but if you're religious, you going to hell. And if it was a cop that was there, you'd be in prison. And if the cops found out that you did that with a kid, you'd be in prison. So, like, really, they get off easy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you think that confronting people, do you think that anybody ever has a change of heart, that they were just like, oh shit, like I did this thing and that was a huge mistake, and do you think that they have a change of heart after they have that experience?
I believe it's rare. I believe it's possible, but I believe it's rare. I think I've caught guys and I've seen them on the apps the next day. Like, I've caught number 3 twice, and the police caught him. The guys that we catch,
Damn.
I always say I've never caught a good guy. Like, every guy that we catch, we hear things about, oh, this guy did this did this. I mean, the most famous dude, I'm here to look at the TVs. That guy.
Yeah. That was funny as hell.
When he was 15 years old, he raped his 3-year-old niece. Like, and his aunt's writing me that and stuff like that. Like, these guys aren't good guys. No good guys. Nobody makes this accident. A good guy never makes this accident. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I got one for you and Terrance. I believe I tell you I'm a fan, right? I want to say it might be 19. I might just pull that out my ass. I don't remember. But Terrance, like, you might have been at this particular one. It was a 19-year-old boy, and he was meeting a 15-year-old girl, and he brought his buddy along with him. And y'all approached him, and his buddy didn't know, like, they got the hotel and everything.
Yeah.
So he told the girl, like, yo, bring your friends as well. And the buddy was like, hey, I didn't know anything about it. And y'all was like, hey, I believe the buddy because the way y'all reacted, because y'all got on him first. The buddy was like, yo, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then he was like, oh, no, it's him. I guess y'all looked at the picture, and then y'all was on him. At that moment, he said he was 19. And, like, again, I'm a fan, but I'm thinking about, and y'all do answer this question as well. You 19 years old, a girl's 15. Is that a pedophile? I wouldn't consider that guy the same as everybody else.
No, was that question for Terrance?
That question was for both of you.
I'll go first. No, so I have a team that like helps me like write people a lot sometimes. I still do most of the writing, but people write for me and then send it to me and I'll go catch them. So that's kind of what happened with that time. I don't like to usually go above 14. Unless the guy's like 50 or something, I'll do like 15. But in that particular case, like that's one of the people I do feel sorry for. I didn't go as hard on him. But at the end of the day, he's still gonna get those charges if it was the police or if it was the girl. You know what I'm saying? So, it like I said, it's not black and white all the time. So
no, and I understand it. And Terrance, I want you to go next. And I don't want it to seem like I'm defending either right or wrong, because I have a daughter, and like again,
no, for sure.
Too. I smack the shit out of them if I see them. But what I'm saying is, you got to think. I'm going to be logical, and I want to think as a male, right? You're 19 years old, and think about if you're 19 years old and the girl is 15, and if you get left back in high school and you're not in college yet, 19-year-olds is not having sexual relations with freshmen, right? Is that wrong? Would they?
Right.
I don't know. Or say you're in college and there's a girl that she's smart, so she skipped a grade, so she's 17 years old and she's in college, and then you have a 22-year-old or 23-year-old, a super senior. So 23-year-old, he want to go have sex with a 17-year-old freshman. Is he a pedophile? Should he go to jail? Is that statutory rape? So with things like in that nature, I kind of have I have to sit back and think about those. I don't compare to the individuals that you catch on the regular to 80%.
I think that's fair, and I think everybody recognizes that. So I think the people that seen his video, I don't think they think as bad as him as they think about like other guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's less forgiving, but it's also like a wake up call to him. And if I did it and then didn't post a video, then it's just like, then he could just think he could use that excuse again if he got caught again. What's the chances he's thinking if he gets caught twice? So like that, you shouldn't be doing that, you know? And at the end of the day, the legal age is 16, and that's if the parents agree to it. So, he should not be putting his life at risk like that, because he would be doing the same time as a 50-year-old guy at that point, you know?
You know, definitely. I get you. Terrance, we skip you, brother. What you have to say on that topic?
Oh, just basically, I still wouldn't be okay with my daughter doing that. So that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and again, I want to be okay with my daughter if she's 17 and she's dating a 19-year-old. I'm not okay with that. But I'm just saying, like, being realistic, and like how Gina played devil advocate. We play devil advocate, not saying that we agree with it, but
sure.
Perspectives, right? Thinking about it from the show's standpoint, there's people that might see it like, oh, but were you doing that at that age? And try to get that feedback. But no, I get it. I understand. Thank you for that. Thank you for your comment.
Yeah. I want to share, if I can, with the two of you, something personal to me. So I'm actually a victim of sexual abuse. I was raped when I was a child it's hard to remember, but pretty much from the ages of like 5 to 7 or 8 by somebody in my life. And I kept it a secret until I was about 16 or 17 years old. I never told anyone except for this one friend who guessed. I don't know how he did it, but he guessed. And he was so angry that had happened to me. And he expressed his anger and the feelings that he had around how wrong it was and how horrible it was. And I broke down crying about it. Like, I had shoved that down so far and I had pushed it aside and didn't talk about it. But for somebody to acknowledge that pain and acknowledge how horrible it was for the victim, I think was life-changing for me. And so, you know, I know that obviously you guys aren't 16-year-old girls, but the fact that you may be saving those people and that you are not only going out there and exposing these predators, but also I think that there's a message that you're sending to the victims as well to say, like, this isn't okay. It's not okay for people to treat you like this. And, you know, I personally connected with that part of the show to say, like, this isn't okay. And we're here on your side and we're here to defend you. So for that, like, you know, thank you so much for what you do, because kids like me appreciate that.
Absolutely. Gina, if I may, you say you was between the ages of 5 and 7. How old was the individual that was How old was the scumbag that was taking advantage of you?
6 years older, so between the ages of like 13 and 16 was their age.
Wow. And you think that, I don't know how close that individual was, but do you think that happened to, like, you know, Josh said 70% of individuals that have been molested, it happened to them. Do you think that's something that happened to him? So he did that to you?
Honestly, that's their truth. I don't think that I can speak on behalf of.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
No, I think it's a valid question. You know, that abusers, there is that cycle that abusers tend to abuse. I've been in therapy for 10 years, and I have a 2-year-old son, and I'm sure that I went to therapy and that I got help and that I made changes in my life to make sure that I was in a good place to be able to have a family, because I know that that absolutely is a risk. Like, no matter who you are, male or female, that's a risk.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of male and female, Terrance, Josh, either one of you can actually answer this question. I know when we think of pedophiles, most people already automatically think of a male, male on female, but I know in your show you expose male on male as well. But has it been any situations where you encounter a female?
We just caught one. The Iowa City one was a female.
Wow.
She wanted to have a threesome with her husband, with a 15-year-old girl, and they're like mid-30s. Yeah,
I literally just saw that one today. That was absolutely crazy. And the excuses too that people come up with for why they're talking to kids. I mean, what are some of the excuses that people bring to you, you know, because once you're caught and you're cornered, like what are you going to say to that?
My favorite ones is they're trying to do what I'm trying to do, but in a different way. I've heard that a few times. I've heard somebody say they was pretending to be a pedophile to get her to talk to her and tell her to go home. It's anything under the sun. One of the guys told me to walk there so he could tell me to go home. And I'm like, does that make sense? He's like, no. And he's like, but I do things that don't make sense. Like, all right.
Yeah,
Josh was just there looking at the TVs. You know what I mean? So everybody's got
my funniest one, Terrance and Josh. Gina, I don't know if you watched this one, but the guy that called his father and said, I don't know what's going on. Somebody hacked into my account and try to say I'm trying to talk to an underage girl. Like, what?
He couldn't come up with another excuse.
My favorite, I think my favorite one was with the woman where you could just see her trying to think of lies. Like, you could just see the wheels rolling in her face, like, as she's trying to think of lies. It's crazy.
What's wrong with it?
And it's crazy because originally in that one she said, "Hey, I'm trying to get someone for my husband," right? It started like that, but then she was really pushing, like, "Hey, have you ever been with a girl before?"
Right.
So when she tried to switch him, like, "Hey, I was trying to clear the phone," I'm like, "Really?" Because it sounded like you was trying to like ditch your husband and really worry about you and that individual. So were y'all able to like speak to the husband? Did y'all catch the husband? Did y'all talk to the husband during that episode?
No, and I didn't even notice during the video. You could see her like she's like pointing out, like waving out and like pointing down and stuff.
I seen that.
Like, and I didn't notice that like during the encounter. So like I think he might have been behind us and we didn't even notice. I told her like, yeah, bring your husband out here. I want to talk to him. But I should have chased her throughout the whole hotel, but I ended up talking to the guy trying to get her like her name and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Do you have any fears or hesitations being fathers and families yourself about like someone coming back after you or trying to find you or anything like that? Like, is that something that we're...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I stay with like a bunch of guns in my house, and I'm constantly checking my windows every night, making sure they're locked. My doors, I triple check my doors. Like, we're getting cameras and all this stuff. It gives me more anxiety than it does like anybody else, I feel like. But I do get freaked out a little bit.
Yeah, Terrance, what about you?
I don't have any anxiety. I'm just really all for it. So,
Terrance
you know,
Terrance, you say you want all the smoke, right? They say, yo, don't bring all the smoke this way. He said, I want all, every pedophile out there, give it to me. I want you. You see my face?
I dare you.
That's what
I
you say.
dare you. Exactly. You got it right.
So I'm curious that what both of your opinion is in moving forward. So, you know, you're trying to bring these people's acts to light. You're trying to expose that. You're trying to do what you can to ensure the safety of children. I'm not going to say underage, like they're children, they're kids. What do you think, in your personal opinion, either society or individuals can do to try to influence change around like pedophilia?
That's a hard question. I mean, I don't think it's been going on since ancient Egypt, ancient Greece. Like, it's going on all over the world. It's a billion dollar like industry of child porn that gets sold and stuff on the black market. I don't think it's going away. I think the best thing you can do is defend you and your family and your communities. And I think every community needs to have like a watchdog organization, like something like that we do, or police need to be funded to do this. I believe that as a culture, we got to start taking this way more seriously than we have ever. You know what I'm saying? It's a major problem, and I think we need to treat it up there with global warming and nuclear like tensions. I think it needs to be up there like that, because it ruins lives that and turn into ruining lives that turn into ruining lives that turn into ruining lives, and it's just the negative energy it puts on our world and our culture is just unfathomable.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
wisely
that.
put, man. Definitely.
Terrance, what do you feel?
For one, unity. We need to come together. We need to all get together and actually try our best to you know what I mean, to scare these guys off. Either way, keep more contact with our kids and you know what I mean, like open our eyes. So
yeah. Be aware.
No, yeah, definitely. And it's funny, not funny, but I hear that y'all mentioned, like, Joshua, you mentioned Neighborhood Watch and having organizations within your neighborhood, expanding on what y'all started. Terrance, you also say like unity, other individuals coming together doing the same thing. So I know that y'all kind of started that movement. Y'all, the original D.A.P, That's Against Predators, started in Fremont, Ohio, small town in Ohio. And then y'all expanded out to, like, y'all know y'all have D.A.P 419. Y'all also have D.A.P Oklahoma. Is there any other D.A.P organizations or branches that you have forming at the moment? And what are your goals and missions to continue that push to expand?
So we also have a D.A.P Florida as well. So we got D.A.P Florida, the D.A.P 419, and the D.A.P Oklahoma. I'm in talks with lots of people all the time on people that want to do it. And I tell everybody, send me the screenshot, send me the video, and if it's all good, man, you'll have yourself a D.A.P chapter. I'm not greedy. I'm not doing this to get on podcasts to be famous or anything like that. I just want to spread this message, and I've had a lot of people say like they've been inspired by what we've done, and they wanted to go do it themselves, and they have. And that makes me more proud than anything, is to be able to get something accomplished, I guess, without doing it. You know what I mean? So it's something I'm very proud of, and we're going to keep on expanding as far as we can expand and take this mission as far as it can go.
Keep doing it, man. Keep working and keep doing the deed, man, because like y'all killing it right now. I wasn't aware of D.A.P Florida. Are there videos on YouTube or online?
Yes,
right
sir.
now?
Yeah, he has posted in like a month. He's going through like a family issue, but he'll be right back at it soon. He's got about 7 catches, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow. Okay. So you just look up D.A.P, Florida, no particular city.
It's D.A.P, Florida division. Yeah,
Right.
he's in the Tampa area.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm wondering, do either of you have any advice, especially as fathers yourself? Do you have advice to other parents about steps they might take or things that they can do to protect their children?
Awesome question.
Yeah, I mean, I always say like our number one goal is to expose these guys, and then our number two goal, is to educate the parents and the police. These apps that people, I mean, look at me, like, I don't know much about like the MacBook apps and all this stuff, but like I do know my dating apps, I guess now. Just getting dug in and just being in the know. You know what I mean? When I grew up, not many parents understood what like Xbox Live was and stuff like that, and they were like creepy dudes trying to get girls and boys back in the day. That I've heard stories that they ended up doing, like people meeting, and it happens on Fortnite. Guys meet little kids online and then convince them to meet up, and they get molested. I mean, it's in the news a lot. So just being aware of like the predator grounds. It's not like old guys in bands no more. These guys are smart. And I've heard stories of guys going on the internet, going to a kid's parents' page on Facebook, screenshotting their pictures, saying, "Oh, I know where your parents live. I'm going to kill them if you don't send me these pictures." I've heard real life first person stories like that. So I mean, there's so many ways on the internet that these guys can get to these kids that you just got to stay on top of it. I mean, I don't know, like the 100% plan of like do this and nobody will talk to your kids.
Sure.
But all I can say is like stay on your kids' ass with what they're doing online, who they're talking to, and like be in the know of like apps and if they can hide apps, if there's like, you know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of different ways to get around this stuff. Just my biggest thing to say is just be in the know of what's going on tech-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Terrance, what do you think? Do you have any advice to other parents?
I'm gonna actually follow up with the. It is 2020. Kids nowadays are growing up faster than they used to. You know what I mean? And you just gotta basically keep an eye on them. Don't let them just go over anybody's house. And if they do, just make sure you know everybody that's over there. You know what I mean? Make sure, just like Josh says, you keep up on the apps with them. I mean, with newer technology nowadays, you can probably monetize, you know what I mean, your kids' stuff. So just be on top of it and just don't be so free going, because the world is cruel right now.
What about you, Gina? What's your take on that? You're a mother. You have a son. And I know it's just not one-sided, male, female. That caught individuals on Grindr as well. So what's your take on it?
Honestly, I think that my take is from the point of view of a survivor. And I would say that the thing that I needed the most in those times was somebody who had built a relationship with me, somebody that I trusted, that I could go to, because I did not have that relationship with my parents. That's why I kept it secret for so long. I didn't feel like I could trust them. So I think the most important thing for parents to do is to build trust with your kids. Like, you're not there to be their friend, but you're not there to be their enemy either. Like, you need to talk to them.
No, I definitely agree. So that would have been my advice, is just be open about things like that and exposing them to things like, hey, you watch this thing called D.A.P. Let me show you what's going on, and create a atmosphere or a climate to where y'all could watch shows like that together, rather than making it like, hey, we're not allowed to watch things like that. Because I think that's what I know in my generation we did, and I don't think that was the best way of going about it. Is we try to make our kids naive to things and try to pull them away. Like, hey, let's not talk about sex, or let's not talk about pedophiles. And if we don't talk about it, it's not going to happen. And that's definitely not reality. Won't y'all agree?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
I also think that like what Gina was saying is, I mean, that's so like obvious, but like I never really thought about it like that. If the kid's just comfortable enough to be able to come to a parent and say, "Yo, this guy's weird," you know what I'm saying? This guy's being fucking weird with me. This person was touching me weird. They were saying weird things to me. I feel like if kids can be more comfortable with their parents, that would stop a lot of things from happening. And for parents on the other end to believe it, to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely important, especially if like a kid has language around it too. You know, if it's a small child and they don't know what sex is or they don't know what that is, but something doesn't feel right, just listen to your kids. Like they may not have the language for it, but kids know. Like kids know when something, you know, when they talk to somebody and they're like, I have a funny feeling about that person. I don't want to be around them. Don't make your kid be around them. Don't make your kid kiss grandma if your kid doesn't want to kiss grandma. Like teach them they can have boundaries and that's okay.
Or hire Gina, and Gina can help them with boundaries because that's one of her specialties. You heard?
True.
That's a great plug.
You heard? No, but so Josh, let me ask y'all a question. Josh, Terrance, I know y'all said that you spoke with prosecutors, lawyers, chiefs of police, things in that nature. I know when they did the Catch a Predator, those individuals actually got locked up. Whatever that TV network was had some type of partnership to where if those guys want to run away or they came to the scene and drove off, they was able to get locked up. What was about their angle, and why isn't it that you could do the same? Was it because of big media, or like, can you elaborate on that? Because I don't understand why you cannot connect with cops and get cops on these missions with you if you have proof that all these individuals' intentions.
Great question.
All right, now that's the $1 million question. I've paid money to get the answer to that question, and I can't. There's a group that I talk to. They do this in Southern Ohio, Predator Poachers Ohio. They're kind of more silly with it. They do like characters and stuff like that. That's not really what I'm about. But they have gotten arrested before, and they say like, oh, they just charged them with this. And I go to my police and I say, look, this is happening. They go, oh, well, they're not gonna get convicted, blah 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 blah. So like, I guess it's law. I mean, in other states, like in London. I mean, London's not another state, but like in the UK, like citizens can make arrests. Like those videos, those guys are crazy. They fucking tackle them and hold them down and shit. Like if you like my videos, you should watch the guys in London, man. They fuck them up and legally do it and legally arrest them and everything. So it's like state laws that we're fighting. There are archaic laws that don't really take into account the internet, and also with Chris Hansen and stuff like that. It wasn't Chris Hansen doing the chats. It's the police. The police are doing the chat,
right?
And then they just let Chris do the talking and stuff like that.
Thank you for clearing that up. Well, I think some type of petition, or hey, if you from Fremont or you from Ohio, or if you want to just start a petition, let's protest. We protest about everything else, right? So let's go protest about that. I'm Black, and I'll say Black Lives Matter, right? However, our kids' lives matter as well. So if this is something that you're passionate about, man, let's go to Fremont, let's protest, let's start there, because that's where this started at, and let's expand, man. Hit Josh up, y'all got the links below, and let's make real change, because this is a problem. This is not the only episode we are touching on when it comes to pedophiles and sex trafficking. Upcoming episodes, we're talking about to champions like Gina, champions of trauma. We're also speaking to individuals or organizations that help out survivors and champions of sex trafficking. So like, my hat's off to you all, man, and keep up the good work, because like, somebody got to do it, man. Y'all stepped up, so y'all real dudes, man. I appreciate y'all.
Man, I appreciate you guys having us on, man. Yeah, you guys are great. You made a new fan out of me, that's for sure.
I really appreciate the love, Gina. Don't you appreciate the love? That's my sister from another mister.
Yeah. I like that.
I think about
like
too,
that.
just, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world. And I feel like that's exactly what you guys are doing is you're blazing the path for change. So like
Absolutely.
Phoenix said, cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Well, Joshua, Terrance, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you and getting to know D.A.P more and getting to know your background and what really drives you both into continuing the work into protecting children and exposing, you know, these heinous acts. So just thank you so much for being on the show. Phoenix and I really enjoyed talking to you, and yeah, it's been great.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely a part
guys.
2, and we could do it live. So if y'all love that, y'all love their message, y'all want to ask some questions personally, request that. We could make that happen. They just said it. Let's do it again. Part 2, it could be live. Y'all can ask them direct, and we could talk about it. So let's make that happen. Put it in the comments. But guys, before y'all go, this is our favorite part of the show. At least I know it's mine. This is our thing of the week. So our thing of the week is this. We provide our viewers with something that we've learned or that inspire us throughout the week. Have it be a quote, a poem, a TV show, something that we want to give them, motivate them until they see us next week. So I will start, and my thing of the week is this. Appreciate your audience. What do I mean? Not just my audience, and my audience being you or the viewers, but appreciate your audience, the individuals that support you. I have a saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So what that means is this individual that supports you, may it be by money or just encourage you to keep doing things that you not necessarily wouldn't do if it wasn't for that extra push. That person like that is out there giving their all to make a change in the community. A police officer, a fireman, the person in your community that is just always there to lend that helping hand or to let you know, I got you. For me, who I want to appreciate, my audience, first and foremost, I want to appreciate my family and friends. Thank you for being there for me. I want to appreciate my mother. My mother right now is going through a hard time. She having surgery tomorrow, and it's difficult for me to think about doing this show and speak to you all knowing that my mother is laid in the hospital bed. So if you want to contribute and help my mother in any way, down below there's a link to her GoFundMe to help her with her medical bills. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to. But if you want to and you want to help my mother during this time, please click that link and contribute. Thank you, Mom, for always supporting me and supporting me through this dream that I have with my co-host, Gina. I also want to thank my girlfriend, always there for me, always supporting me and letting me know, like, hey, no matter what anyone else say, you can do it. I want to thank Lux Media Management for always having my back when I need them from a social media standpoint, because Josh, like you, I'm an old head, but you're not really old. I'm older, 37 years old. I don't know about Instagram or Twitter. But last but not least, I want to thank you all, the fans, our audience, that download, check us out every Thursday, kick it with us, have a drink with our awesome guests. I appreciate you all, because without you all, my co-host Gina and I wouldn't be living our dream. So because of you, you're making it happen. Gina, thank you for trusting me and believing me and being my partner in crime in this journey that we're taking. Thank you, audience. I appreciate you. Now I appreciate your audience, Coach Phoenix.
I can't follow that, Phoenix. Now, my thing of the week feels so cheesy. Yeah. So my thing of the week, like I said, feels a little bit cheesy following Phoenix's, as always, heartfelt thing of the week.
You got it.
But my thing of the week is a phone app called Pause, Pause Daily Mindfulness. So it's just a really simple app, has really calming music, has really simple visuals that just has you take a couple minutes for yourself and just pause to breathe. It walks you through some breathing routines and just really helps you recenter. So that was something that has inspired me this week because meditation has been newly on my mind again. And I've really been enjoying that app. So I thought I'd share it with everyone.
Awesome, Gina. See, that was an awesome follow-up. Because after they thank everyone, or before they thank the audience, they could center themselves and understand who their audience is and learn how to, okay, this is what they do. This is how I want to appreciate them. So awesome. See, there's always a tandem, you see?
There's a connection.
Always a connection. Well, guys, I appreciate you all. Thanks again for joining us. Viewers, thanks again for joining us. We love y'all. Subscribe, like, subscribe. Go to D.A.P, subscribe. Go to D.A.P Oklahoma, D.A.P 419, D.A.P Florida. Hit up the website, Gina website, my website. We love y'all. Toast with the coaches, perspectives, and we out. Cheers.
Cheers.